Hello everyone, this is Kevin Whitman, the Director for Assessment and Accountability here at the Idaho State Department of Education. Welcome to our October webinar. As you can probably tell, this webinar is pre-recorded. As always, we've also posted the PowerPoint slides as a document. We've tried to answer any recently asked questions throughout, but if you have questions on any of the content here, please email or call us and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. I'll start things off with a quick accountability update. We are still working on finalizing the updates to the report card to reflect last year's data, but anticipate it will be posted soon. We'll let you know as soon as it is released. In the meantime, please check out the vignettes listed here so you can learn about data that will be updated, data that will not be updated, and how school identification will work based on last year's data.
I often get the question, Dr. Kleiner, my school has chosen every...
Hey everyone, Andrew Bennett here to give you some quick English language proficiency assessment updates. Next week is the kickoff of the WIDA e-Summit. The e-Summit is a free virtual learning opportunity that will be happening between October 12th and October 30th. Each week of the e-Summit will have a designated theme with multiple webinars. And these themes include the WIDA ELD Standards 2020 edition, Teaching Multilingual Learners, and the WIDA Assessments. The conference platform Canvas is now live. However, a valid WIDA Secure Portal account will be required to access the e-Summit sessions and recordings. If your educators would like to participate and do not yet have an account, district test coordinators may make an account for them, or they may request an account by going to the account request link at the bottom of the slide. For more details, go to the WIDA eSummit webpage listed below, or by going to the WIDA website. You may also access the conference live stream by going to the SDE ELPA webpage. Look for the large graphic of the WIDA eSummit, like the one that you see in the upper right hand corner. The WIDA pre-ID file is uploaded to the Data Recognition Corporation in mid-November of each year and enables the test vendor to provide Idaho with the appropriate amount of access test materials needed to successfully implement all 4 sections of the access test. In addition, the WIDA pre-ID file provides L demographic information to the vendor so that the pre-ID labels can be printed that may be later affixed to the student response booklets. LEAs use ELMs to designate the type, mode, and tier of access. LEAs will need to check the pre-populated type, mode, and tier of access prior to the November 16th Idaho SDE upload. There will be a training on how to assign the type, mode, and tier of access, and how to assign accommodations prior to the state's upload on November 5th, 2020. The webinar link can be found on the ELPA webpage under Trainings and Webinars. So hope to see you there.
The 2020-2021 access specific dates have been posted to the ELPA webpage and are available for your review. The access test window will currently open on January 25th, 2021 and close on March 5th, 2021. Please stay tuned for possible modifications to this schedule in the next couple of weeks.
The WIDA webinar series has been posted onto the ELPA webpage under the Trainings tab. Below is information on the upcoming webinars through November 5th, 2020. Specific WebEx webinar links or Zoom links are embedded into the titles. So we hope to see you there.
Hi everyone, this is Kevin Chandler. I have a couple of updates for ISAT Science. First up, thanks to everyone that signed up for our Science Content Fairness Review workshops. Those are going to be held virtually on Tuesday, October 20th to Friday, October 23rd. Next up, we have our science interims. Those are going to be available via the TA app, AVA, or remote administration. We have 14 elementary, 19 middle school, and 20 high school interims available. Keep in mind that a science interim consists of one cluster. In order to find out more about those interims, make sure you access the blueprints that are on the ISAT portal. And we also have some answer keys that are located in TIDE under General Resources. Make sure to handle those answer keys securely. Next up, we do have our science sample tests that are available now. We have one for grade 5, one for grade 8, and one for grade 11. There are two ways to take those. First up, from the ISAT portal, click on the Practice and Training Test panel, then click on the Take the Sample Training Test panel as well. From there, you can log in as a guest user under a guest session and take those sample tests as many times as necessary. The second way to take one of our science sample tests is to click on the Science Assessment panel on ISAT portal, then click on the Sample Test Administration panel. From there, a TA can start a test session, and a student can log in with their first name, EDU ID, and that test session. We also have some sample test answer keys that are posted on the ISAT portal. Next up, we have our Idaho science specifications. We have some for elementary, middle, and high. Make sure you keep in mind these are documents that are going to be used by professional test developers to create those clusters and standalones that are going to be on the ISAT Science. Each one of these have been reviewed and approved by Idaho science educators. Looking forward to spring 2021 and beyond, we are hoping to have an independent field test for science, which means that, of course, we will not have any individual student reports or reported scores. However, participation is required for all students in grade 5, grade 8, and grade 11. Then for spring 22, we're hoping to have an operational field test, which means we will have ISRs and scores, but those will be reported after our summer standard setting meeting. If you have any questions about science ISAT, please don't hesitate to reach out. Next up, a couple updates for our ISAT system. First up is our Cambium Assessment Systems user role chart that lists out all the different systems that we have available this school year, and it also shows all the different user roles that are available now and how they're connected to each other. Make sure you watch for updates to this particular resource. A couple of tasks to complete. If you haven't already, make sure you've logged into TIDE and updated user roles and rosters. We also have some user guides and quick guides on the ISAT portal to help you do that. Then, of course, be sure to complete the TA certification course. That's going to be required for anyone that wants to administer an interim or summative ISAT. That TA certification course takes about 30 minutes to complete. Also want to draw your attention to one of our new systems that we have available this year. That's going to be reporting. That's going to house all of our summative and interim performance data for our students. It replaces the online reporting system. And of course, because it's new, we have several training modules that are already posted on the ISAT portal. Look forward to some user guides and quick guides also being posted on the ISAT portal soon. Next up, we have our sample and training tests for ELA and math. Those are also available now. There's two ways to take those. Number one, of course, TAs can log into the sample test administration, start a test session, and a student can log in and take one of those sample and training tests. A guest user can also log in under a guest session by clicking on the Take the Sample Training Test panel on the ISAT portal. We also have the Sample Test Quick Guide also available to help you out with that. Next up, we have our interims. We have three different types for ELA and math: the ICA, the IAB, and the FIAB. And for this particular school year, we've also developed a new interim. So we're calling the Shortened Interim Comprehensive Assessment, or the SICA. The SICA is composed of the CAT portion only, which means it has no performance task or hand-scored items. It's going to be available for grades 3 through 8, and it's going to measure student mastery of pretty much all the targets that are going to be on a summative assessment. This new interim was developed exclusively for Idaho educators in response to last year's testing disruptions, and it's going to be a faster way for educators to gain a better picture of where students are on their learning progress. We also have a plethora of resources already posted on the ISAT portal. Most importantly is the Interim Assessment Implementation Planning Checklist. Make sure you download that and complete all the steps before trying to administer one of the interim assessments. Next up is our Tools for Teachers. I want to advertise that again. Has a plethora of resources including connections playlists. That's how you can connect student performance data on interims to new and improved instructional resources. It also includes lots of formative and accessibility strategies. And then of course lots of different professional learning resources for Idaho educators. Looking forward to spring 21, we are planning to have required summative testing in grades 3 through 8 and 10 for ELA and math. Wanted to also give you a heads up that we are working closely with our testing vendor to develop strategies to safely and effectively conduct summative testing in the spring. Thanks again. If you have any questions about the ISAT system, don't hesitate to reach out.
Hi everyone. Let's jump right into IRI. Fall IRI testing is complete and the window is now closed. A big thank you to everyone who supported the efforts to administer the IRI this fall. Districts can, as always, request their data file for Fall IRI from SDE once data has been processed and finalized. Requests for Fall IRI data should be entered into Otis and files will be shared via the secure server. Let's take a moment to review some of the rules applied to Fall IRI data. Fall IRI performance is calculated and reported at the state, district, school, and grade level. The first rule applied to the Fall IRI data is to include student scores from the first valid result occurring within the state testing window. This means that for a student with both a valid September and October score, the state would take the September overall score and associated subtest scores. Subtest results are reported only for grade level assessment where norms are established. The fall subtests for kindergarten are listening comprehension, phonemic awareness, letter knowledge, and vocabulary. First grade subtests include phonemic awareness, letter knowledge, alphabetic decoding, spelling, reading comprehension, and vocabulary. Second and third grade subtests are alphabetic decoding, spelling, reading comprehension, vocabulary. Note that text fluency is a reported subtest score for second and third grade, but that score is not included in the student's overall score. I want to take a moment to answer some frequently asked questions. Our remote students are receiving ELA instruction through IDLA. What are the implications for my district regarding IRI scores? IRI scores are reported for students based upon their school of enrollment. IDLA is not a public school, meaning there are no reported scores associated to them as an entity, not a public school. This includes both fall and spring administration. Scores for monthly progress monitoring are not collected or reported by the state. How do I reconcile my fall IRI scores if students assessed across more than 1 month? To have the most accurate file of student scores for fall IRI, you can request your district scores through Otis. These scores will be available once the data has been validated. Refer back to my previous slide for information about fall IRI business rules. Last question, how do I meet the requirement to provide additional 30 or 60 hours of intervention instruction? The provision of 30 or 60 additional hours of reading intervention to students scoring a Tier 2 or 3 on the IRI is a State Board of Education requirement. For information regarding this requirement, contact Allison Hankin at the State Board of Education. Now an update on accessibility. The Significant Cognitive Disabilities, or SCD, IRI workgroup will meet for a second time in October. The goal of this group is to provide guidance to the field for the 2020-2021 fall administration to ensure SCD students can access the IRI. IRI training will remain available to educators throughout the year. The online training course, designed for teachers, is open for the fall enrollment. However, the deadline to receive NNU credit for the course has passed. If you wish to receive NNU credit, be sure to check out our spring course that will open for enrollment in December. Don't forget to access the IRI Virtual Professional Development vignettes posted on the SDE IRI webpage under Trainings. New vignettes for understanding and using IRI data will be posted soon. If you have IRI questions, you can contact me via email or phone.
Our next webinar is scheduled for 10 a.m. Mountain Time on November 11th. You can find links to register and review past webinars at the Assessment and Accountability Resource Center. You can also register using the link here. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you for listening.